Well, I think what's most important too is the overarching, like two things I want to bring up. One will lead to the other, but like the fact, because like we understand everything, Symbility and Xactimate and ESV files, everything you said, but like even maybe a new contractor, because like Dimitri, which we'll get into that in a second, but like working with someone like brand new, what's so important is working with somebody that is that forward, progressive thinking, who's on, always improving, never letting good be an enemy to your best. I remember Jim Collins in that book, Good to Great. He said, "There's so many good companies that'll never be great. They don't need to be great. They're just good. But you guys are an exceptional company, but becoming better every day, which is an outlier, and that's like above everything else. And then also to the rate of growth and integration and iteration. So like when you think about the S-curve economics of a TV, it took 10 years for 10% of the population knew about it. And all of a sudden it finally spiked up. But technology now, you can have an app come out 2-3 years as purchase, acquisition, boom, 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 boom. The rate in which we have to integrate, accept, and adopt change, we have to be very like flexible. I feel like to be progressive, or we're gonna get crushed. And GeoSpan, I mean, you guys are, for what it seems like, and that's why we use Leap as a CRM, because they want to grow. They're not perfect or great or like, but we feel like it, or maybe they are and we need to learn, right? But it's like you guys are like taking the bull by the horns, and then people, I don't, not enough people know how good the product really is. I believe it's overcoming obscurity right now, because right now you guys to be honest, you dominate with the pack with what you have now, but what's coming out is super exciting.
I honestly think we've just scratched the surface. It's just the team of people that's put together that we have right now, and the growth that we've had, and the ideas and the thought processes and how things are rolling out. I like. I think we're just getting going. We're at the very very beginning, because there's a lot of things on our map and in our plan, and we love shiny objects, and ooh, what about this and what about that, and then it's, wait, but if we could tie this to that and then this to that, then there's a whole nother, new. So there's a lot of things that have talked about and been talked about, and but we know that there's going to be more too. So as we build out our, our platform or our service, it's with an open door to be able to adapt and modify and, push things here or there, because, like I said, we want to work with everybody. I mean, and we started, our roots were doing stuff for the government, so there's really nobody that we don't want to work with. There's nobody that we don't want to be able to provide data for anywhere.
Hmm.
It's if it's in a picture with the right data, or it's the right kind of picture, we can measure it, and just how we leverage that and what our baseline is. I mean, that's, yeah, if there's something that somebody wants out of a picture, we might not be able to do it today as a product, but I don't have any fear of not being able to do it. It's just when can we do it? Because there's some good brains, and and people have been ahead of the curve. I mean, the founder of our company invented, patented, and he invented and patented what everybody now knows as Google Street View in like the early 90s, and that was in the works for a while before that. But his whole part in the GIS world started when he went into the Marine Corps at 18 years old, and he was up in a plane, working with GIS and mapping stuff, and then transitioned into the government sector for, property evaluations and stuff like that. And he put a couple of dots together and went, I wonder. And, and that's where that came from, is people had a couple of asks, and he had a couple of ideas and smushed them together and went, ooh, I think this will work. Let me try it. And, like I said, I mean, that patent was in the 90s. And being able to measure things, he's known how to do that. And there's been technology around for, I mean, June will be, I believe, our 35th year in business. So we're just new to the roofing space or the construction and retail space. But being able to adapt. And I think we all have to, especially anybody that's tied to the construction industry, just because of where people are with jobs and where technology is. And I don't think there's enough people that want to have physical labor jobs anymore. And there's also technology that if you don't stay with it or at the front of it, you're going to get passed, So you got to, get on or get out of the way kind of a deal. And I
Yeah,
don't see our train changing course. I don't think we're ever going to step off to the side and let somebody else run. We want to be in front, and you get that way by working with other people.
yeah, and
And
we were really quick. We were talking about this the other day, and so I was telling you all when we were talking about it offline. We're by no means technologically sound in anything that we do. We're just two guys that have an idea, have some vision, and we're like, who can help us put that vision into action? So we like to talk to everybody, and from like even when we go to these conferences, we're like, all right, here's the game plan. We're looking for somebody that can help us with A, B, and C. You handle A, I'll handle B, and then we'll touch notes, and then we'll be like, tomorrow we're gonna talk to these guys because I think they got. And that's how we kind of came about. Most of the stuff we do is because we want to work with people that are like constantly evolving, trying to get better, helping us get better, being available. Because sometimes you can have the greatest thing, but if you don't know how to use it or have no one to help you get by and show you how to do it, or even take advantage of the full scope of what you're offering, doesn't help anybody. You can have the greatest product and not know how to use it, doesn't do you any good. And
Yep.
so we want to work with people like that will sit down and be like, all right, this is what we do. You're going to waste your time with this, but if you focus on this, it's going to help you do this. And it's just like, we just want to work with companies that are doing that, constantly thinking about how to get better. Cause that's what we do every day. We have powerhouse meetings where we're like, hey, this came up, this came up, this came up. How do we deal with it? And then it's like, and who can help us get it done? And that's kind of where, when we talk to you guys, I'm like, man, every time I talk to you guys, there's something new's coming up, working with a whole new person. Like we like that because if you stay stagnant, stale, you're never gonna grow. You're never gonna get better. And so we appreciate that part of your what you guys do is every time there's like, hey, got some good news. Look, we did this. This is working. I'm like, well, we didn't want to pull 80, $130 measurements from anybody. I don't care how good you are. It's not our need. We don't need to do that. And then so the fact that you guys are like, well, glad you said that because here's what we got to offer. And then now it was like exactly what we needed at the price point we needed it to be, and we're getting the best. And so that's where we became fans, and it's just grown since then. Our respect for what you guys do has been, you know, it's there, and that's why we want to work with you guys.